Hey guys, so this week I've been playing Shadows of the Damned, which if you don't know is this weird game. It's by Suda who did Killer 7 and other, weird games, but also the guy behind Resident Evil. So it plays kind of like a hybrid of Resident Evil with its, third-person shooting aspects, but also this incredible weirdness that comes with Suda. Anyways, here's my opinion of Shadows of the Damned. In Shadows of the Damned, you play as Garcia Hotspur, demon killer extraordinaire. In fact, you're so good at killing demons that they're kind of pissed at you, so the Demon King Fleming has kidnapped your girlfriend and taken her to hell, and you have to go rescue her. And of course, this is the last point in the game when anything really makes sense at all. The gameplay mechanics are pretty easy to grasp. If you played Resident Evil 4 or 5, you know how it kind of controls. You're third person and you use your gun to shoot people. Of course, in this game, instead of firing bullets, you fire things like skulls, teeth, and you have a nice little pistol that fires bones, which, of course, is called the boner. As you progress through the game, you find various gems lying around. The white ones are sort of currency that you use to buy health potions, which is alcohol. Red gems are used to upgrade damage and reload speed and all that kind of stuff. And the blue gems, which you get from defeating bosses, upgrade your weapons. So instead of running around with just a regular old boner, now you get a hot boner. Also in the game, you have to deal with light and shadow in an interesting way. If you're in complete darkness, it'll slowly kill you, unless you find a goat head to shoot with your light shot to turn the lights back on. Also, enemies covered in shadow have to be hit with the light shot first before they can be damaged at all. The game really uses light and shadow to its advantage, and more than just the combat. Sometimes there are puzzles that you can only complete by stepping into a shadowy part, and sometimes a boss you can only hit them when they're in the shadow. The game also does an incredible job of being as weird as possible without being inaccessible. And I don't just mean kind of weird, I mean really weird at times.
No!
So my gun's a talking skull that can also turn into a motorcycle. Okay, why not? So save points are one-eyed monsters that take a flaming crap. Sure, why not?
I'm not wearing anything but a smile. How about you?
Oh my god, 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 Shawik!
Now that is a big boner.
Hey, taste my big boner! Taste my big boner! Taste my big boner!
Once you get past the things like goatmen riding horses that poop darkness, the gameplay is actually really interesting. As you go through it, you get different kinds of enemies, newer bosses, more challenging, different challenges. And overall, it does a really good job at pacing the story out across the length of the game, changing things up, changing the environments, the bosses. There's even a whole section of the game that's just a giant homage to Evil Dead. In terms of just the story, it's not that hard to wrap your head around what's going on. They just add this really weird flair that gives it this sort of quirky uniqueness. And all of the really strange parts of the story seep into the gameplay as well, so it's not just this isolated weirdness that doesn't have any effect on the gameplay. The gameplay has this weirdness as well. I mean, you're feeding strawberries and brains and eyeballs to baby heads to unlock doors instead of keys. The game will switch around between sort of funny campiness to dark and brooding and just horrible stuff going on and funny stuff going on, and it does it really well. Although Shadows of the Damned is kind of really weird in a lot of interesting and cool ways, it also has this really accessible gameplay from the Resident Evil franchise. So I think if you go into this not really liking to experimental kind of weird mess with your head type of gameplay, you'll still kind of get the hang of it, because essentially it's just it's a shooter. It's pretty easy to get your head wrapped around just the shooting parts. The rest of it you can ignore if you want, but it's interesting. I don't think it's, mind-blowingly changing to video game as a whole, but it's a fun game, an incredibly weird game with some very interesting elements to it that I think if you picked up and tried, if you were open to the idea of trying something a little off the beaten path, you might enjoy.